Third Sunday of Advent, Gaudete Sunday. We light the pink candle today to remind us of joy. We're just a little better than halfway through the journey. But I think Gaudete Sunday also reminds us of the connection or the intersection of joy and suffering in our life journey. Bishop Morneau from Green Bay, Wisconsin, talks about joy and suffering being siblings, that we cannot fully understand joy unless we have also experienced and have some awareness of suffering. Theologian Jim Finley talks about that in us that has been touched connects with that in us that has not been touched. So we remember the moments on our journey. I sit here today next to my Christmas tree, my Charlie Brown Christmas tree. A few years ago, my husband and I downsized, and among the things we downsized was our tree. So we have to be very careful each year. What ornaments are we putting on our tree, as each ornament has memories for us. And memories when my kids were little and made ornaments in school or in Scouts, usually putting their picture in them. The snowflake, handmade by my grandmother, that we found in her bedroom the year that she died, December 21st. Not a happy Christmas that year, and yet a profound gift to all of us. Ornaments from my grandchildren made especially for us. Each of these ornaments brings memories. Some bring a smile, some bring a tear, but they all bring memories, and they all bring to the surface parts of our journey together, parts of our journey alone, reminding us that while maybe in the moment the grief was overwhelming, the fear was overwhelming, the anger was all-consuming, but as we allowed our hearts to open, as we allowed ourselves to remember that pink candle of Advent, that in us that has been touched by joy was able to connect with that in us that cannot see it right now. That's where we find hope for the journey. That's where we remember that we discover the very presence of Christ in the cross. And that's what helps us to carry through and continue. That's what allows us to sit with memories and to discover new possibilities, new opportunities. So happy Gaudete Sunday, as John the Baptist was a voice in the desert, crying out and leading the way. We too find our voice, the voice of Christ within us, when we find ourselves in the desert. And perhaps this year, with COVID, has so much disrupted all of our lives. And we look ahead to Christmas and wonder, are we going to be able to celebrate this year? I know that my husband and I are not going to be able to gather with our children or with our extended family. This Christmas will be very different. But that in us that has experienced the joy and the light of Christ will connect with that in us that has not yet been able to grasp it for this year. That will give us the hope. That will sustain us and allow us to push through and live into the new possibilities, the new joys. Happy Gaudete Sunday.